In the bustling city of Lagos, Funmi and Femi were the epitome of success. They lived in a beautiful home where the affluent and influential resided. Femi, a top-tier banker, and Funmi, a renowned fashion designer whose creations graced runways across the country and abroad. Together, they formed a power couple that many admired and envied. To outsiders, their lives seemed perfect: a thriving marriage, two bright children, attending the best schools, and the kind of love story that others could only dream of. But within the walls of their luxurious home, there was a shadow, an unspoken truth that Funmi had kept buried for years. It was a secret that weighed heavily on her heart. A silent companion to her every success and smile. She had tried to forget, to move on, convincing herself that the past was just that, the past. But deep down, she knew that the truth would eventually surface, and when it did, the life they had built could crumble like a house of cards. Years ago, before Funmi and Femi's path crossed, she had made a choice, a desperate decision, born out of fear and uncertainty. She had been young, still finding her way in the world, and had fallen in love with someone she thought was her future. But that relationship had ended in heartbreaks, leaving her alone and pregnant. In her despair, she made a decision she would come to regret. She gave the baby up for adoption, believing it was the only way to salvage her future. Years passed and she met Femi. He was kind, successful, and offered her the stability and love she had longed for. They married, and with him, she found happiness and purpose. But the memory of her first child, a son she never got to hold, reminded her and remained with her, haunting her in quiet moments. As their marriage blossomed, Funmi pushed the past further into the recesses of her mind. She never told Femi about the child she had given up. She was too afraid of how he would react, of what it would mean for their marriage and the image they had cultivated. And so the secret remained locked away, a burden she carried alone. Can one actually die with a secret? But secrets have a way of coming to light, and Funmi's was no exception. One evening, as they sat together after a big day, Femi mentioned a young boy who had been visiting their church with a new family. The boy, Femi noted, bore a striking resemblance of Funmi. His casual comment sent a chill down her spine, but she brushed it off, laughing nervously. However, as the weeks passed, Femi continued to bring up the boy, his curiosity piqued by uncanny resemblance. Unable to endure the mounting tension, Funmi began to avoid church services, making excuses to stay away. But Femi's interest only grew and had eventually reached out to the boy's family, inviting them over for dinner. The night of the dinner, Funmi was a bundle of nerves, her heart pounding in her chest. When the boy walked through the door, her worst fears were realized. It was the splitting image of her, with eyes that mirrored her own. As they exchanged pleasantries, Funmi could hardly breathe. her words spinning as the walls of her carefully constructed life began to close in. Later that night, after their guests had left, Femi confronted Funmi. He had seen the look of recognition in her eyes, the panic she tried to hide. "Are you okay?" And so, with a trembling voice, Funmi confessed. She told him about the relationship, the pregnancy, the child she had given up for adoption. She poured out the secret she had held onto for so long, tears streaming down her face. There is no hidden secret. As one day, the secret will come into light anyhow. If you have a secret like that of Funmi and you are hoping to be married, please open up at the moment you are sure you want to go on forever journey with the man. Let him know and make a decision if he would want to still go the forever journey with you. Take out your fear. Do not let your fear take you out of the beautiful journey. A man that loves you genuinely will accept you with your baggages. You are not the first and you won't be the last to have such experience, but the moment you find genuine love again, please open up and allow your fears to be taken out, as marriage is intimacy, nothing hidden. Femi was silent, his expression unreadable. The weight of the revelation hung heavy in the air between them. The woman he loved, the mother of his children, had kept such a significant part of her past hidden from him. He felt betrayed, as if the foundation of their marriage had been built on a lie. Days passed in a tense silence. Femi struggled with the revelation, sure if he could move past it. He loved Funmi, but the trust between them had been shattered. Funmi, on the other hand, was consumed with guilt and fear. She knew she had wronged Femi by keeping such a significant part of her life from him, and she worried about what this meant for their future. The strain of the secret and its fallout its toll on their family. Their children sensed the tension. The once warm and loving home, cold and filled with unspoken words. Funmi feared that a mistake made in the ignorance of youth would cost her everything she held dear. But as the days turned into weeks, Femi began to reflect on their years together. He saw the sacrifices Funmi had made, the love she had given, and the life they had built. The secret was painful, but he couldn't ignore the woman who stood by his side through all the trials of life. He realized that while the past could not be changed, the future was still in their hands. To my handsome men watching this story, maybe in the same shoes as Femi, I know you were pained. Words, as dirty as the bath water is after bathing a baby, even if the baby poos on the mother's laps while beating him, she would only find a way to clean up the mess and then throw the dirty water away. We know we don't throw the baby with the bath water. Just as Femi found solace in the genuine love they shared and the sacrifices Funmi had made for them, you too can find solace today. Remember that the past cannot be changed, but the future is in your hands. Find solace in the love you share and see how to move on, making it better than it was. In a heartfelt conversation, Femi and Funmi finally addressed the pain and betrayal. Funmi apologized, admitting that she had been wrong to keep such a monumental secret from him. She expressed her fears, her shame, and her regret. Femi, in turn, shared his hurt but also his willingness to try to rebuild what they had lost. They decided to seek counseling, not just to mend the rift between them, but to understand the depth of the wounds and how they could heal. It wasn't easy. There were many difficult conversations, tears, and moments of doubt, but slowly they began to rebuild trust that had been broken. Femi met with the boy's adoptive parents. Though it was awkward at first, they opened up to the idea of connecting their families. Fumi's secret had the power to destroy their marriage, but in the end, it also forced them to confront the deepest fears and insecurities in their relationship. They emerged stronger with a deeper understanding of each other and a renewed commitment to their marriage. In time, they began to heal. Boy became a part of their extended family, and while the road was long, they navigated it together, hand in hand. The shadow of the past still lingered, but it no longer held the power it once did. Funmi and Femi had faced it together, and in doing so, they found a new strength in their love. Love that had been tested, broken, and ultimately renewed. Your marriage can get better too, if only you will allow your love to be renewed. Thank you for watching my story. Comments are welcomed in the comment section below. Please share with me what you love about the story and what you learned from the story. This is African Tales by Ewa. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so and share this story with your loved ones. I appreciate your time spent on my channel. I do not take your support for granted. Until I come your way again with another interesting story. Bye for now.